Raka, and I'm a student at Embry Riddle Aeronautical University, and I currently have my private pilot's license with an instrument rating. So before the start of my freshman year of high school, there used to be an airport that I could walk to from my grandfather's house. I always thought it was the coolest thing going to the airport and seeing all the different planes that were sitting there. So I eventually looked for different opportunities for aviation in the area, where I found the Young Eagles program hosted at Butler. I went to my first Young Eagles rally, and I really loved it so much, between the community and all the pilots and meeting everyone, that I eventually came to the summer camp here in Indiana, which is where I really found a lot of people that I like. This specific moment, I think, that made me want to become a pilot was just getting to find a group of people that loved aviation as much as I do and who were willing to support me in pursuing my pilot's license. One of the biggest challenges in my training was whenever I transitioned from the flight school here in Indiana to Embry Riddle. At first, when I got there, I didn't realize how big of a flight school it really was and how standardized the procedures were. Whenever I was back here training, we had our set of checklists that only represented for the small flight school we have. However, at Embry Riddle, with 120 planes that they have to have a much stricter and much more formal set of procedures. When I first got there, I had a hard time trying to enjoy flying, trying to learn the whole new plane, new systems, new instructors and everything, because I was really used to flying back here. I flew back here in Pennsylvania for 3 years before I went there, so I was really used to how I flew here and the area and everything about it here. Florida is a much more busy airspace, especially with Daytona Airport being how large it is. Eventually I really learned to like flying there, especially because it was really easy to find all the information. However, it was really hard staying motivated for a while, especially until I found people I really liked that would support me and help me get through my course that I was on. Staying motivated in high school versus college was definitely very different. In high school, I used to go from high school in the morning to the airport later in the afternoon. One of the best things that I did was I did college release, so I would go to school until 10:30, and then I would leave there to come fly at the airport, and then I also took online college classes. This made it a little bit easier because then, instead of all of my classes being high school classes that didn't relate to aviation, I had a few classes that I took online through Embry Riddle that both helped me in high school, helped me in the future in college, and also helped me with flying here, because some of the classes even related to what I was studying for my private check ride. Whenever I got to college, it definitely changed a lot, because instead of being the only pilot in the group, I was one of many pilots in my friend group. So all of my friends at school either are pilots or are working on building planes, fixing planes, something related. So it was really easy to learn with them, because since we're all in the same classes, we could discuss what we're learning together. This is especially helpful for studying for check rides, because I'm not the only one around me studying for a check ride anymore. Instead, it's all of me and my friends in the same place trying to study for our check rides together, which is really fun and challenging, because some of us know more of certain areas where we can all help each other out and work together as a group to all achieve what we want to do. One of the most important things that I learned this past year at Embry Riddle is how important having a good group of pilots and instructors are to support you. Coming from Indiana, I was really close with everyone here and enjoyed being around everyone and doing aviation events with everyone. When I got to Embry Riddle, I found that community was a little bit different, and I had to find instructors that were supportive of what I was doing and were understood where I was coming from whenever I learned different things. I learned especially that not everyone comes from the same background, so everyone knows different things, which was difficult to understand, because not everyone there learned at a Part 61 school before they came there, where some people always flown in a busy airport in those type of planes and wouldn't understand where I was coming from with certain things too. So I learned that having good instructors and a good group of friends was really important. I haven't decided yet if I want to fly for airlines or fly corporate, but after college, I definitely want to flight instruct for a little bit. Ideally, I'd just be flying some sort of cool plane with some cool opportunity that I find whenever the time comes, once I build some hours too. My biggest advice for any aspiring pilot is to find a group of people you like being with and find an instructor in a place you really like to fly at. I think that it's really important that you're happy where you're doing your flight training, because it's where you're going to spend a lot of your time. This was a challenge that I faced whenever I was doing instrument, because I was having issues finding instructors that taught well to how I learn, but I eventually found someone that was able to help me out with exactly what I needed, and it'll end up being really helpful if you have someone you can work really well with.